Hello, collective. I hope you guys enjoyed your spooky season, child. It still feels like spooky season to me. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. Okay, it was a lot going on. Long time no speak. How have you guys been doing? Let me know in the comments. We're gonna get into another collective reading real quick. I wanted to give you guys some info, okay, that you can use. News you can use, honey. All right. Because I am in the near future going to be working on the monthly readings for each zodiac sign. So be sure to have your post notifications turned on, you guys. Like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Thank you so much for everyone who's been supporting the channel. It's really nice. It's been very nice to get back over here and get back into the collective readings. Let me know in the comments if you have any reading topics that you want me to talk about. Probably not going to be doing anything like twin flames or anything like that. But if you want me to focus on a specific topic, generally like a question that could be answered for the collective, be sure to let me know in the comments. I'll be looking out to see what you guys suggest. If somebody puts your suggestion in the comments and you agree, just like the comment so that I can see it's voted for by all of you guys. Let me know in the comments if this reading is resonating as well. Okay, if you guys want to purchase any of my services, the link to my website is in the description box. I do offer prayers. If y'all need prayers, okay, if y'all need prayers right now, it is $1.11 for you to shoot me a little prayer request and I'll do it. Be sure to read the policy and all the information. If you want me to do a reading for you guys personally, I got that as well as a service where we can be pen pals. Okay, I'm a kid of the 90s. We used to have pen pals. So if you got anything you want to real quick get off your chest, or if you want to, correspond with me on a regular basis, I offer that service as well. A lot of people don't know, so I just wanted to tell you guys. And I appreciate all of your support. So let's see real quick what the message is for the collective. Guardian angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors of the highest vibration, Father, Mother, God, for the collective watching now or later. Okay. Oh, looks like that might be it, child. Also, they wanted me to remind you guys, use your intuition. Despite what I say, I love and respect all of you guys, and I appreciate your love and respect. But I want you to go with your intuition, okay? Regardless of what I say. Now, oh my God, I knew it. And it's so frustrating. Stormy 21. You guys are making, I feel like this is different though, because this Stormy card always comes out. And I feel like, because of what Jamaica and Haiti and Cuba have just experienced with Melissa, this could be referencing literal storms. Okay, there's a lot of stormy, watery energy that we're going to be experiencing. And I feel like Spirit just wants to advise us and make us aware of everything that could be going on in the near future in order for us to prepare, right? Don't be scared, be prepared, period, point blank, period. Right? So in the near future or currently at this moment, you could be experiencing a lot of situations that are coming up where you have to make some difficult decisions, or you may feel like you have to make decisions under pressure. You may feel like you have to choose between this or that. And it could be in a rough situation, rough waters, rocky waters, right? And these may not be easy decisions, and they could produce a lot of feelings of anxiety, guilt, feelings of inadequacy, being insecure. And I feel like Spirit wants you to be aware of that so that you're not allowing negativity to cloud your judgment in situations. Yes, ma'am. So this also can have something to do with like how much you invest your energy into other people, places, and things. I feel like a lot of you guys are having to kind of be forced, not necessarily like a punishment, but just because of the situations that we're in, a lot of you guys are being forced to make decisions that are best for yourself, things that you have to choose that are going to work best for your well-being. It's like, this isn't necessarily, I'm not saying it's not a time to be kind, because I feel like we should always strive to be kind. and to treat others with humanity, like a humane approach to how we treat other people. But I also feel like right now there are a lot of decisions that you may have to make where it feels like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. And I think Spirit wants you to understand that, you know, you shouldn't necessarily hold it against yourself, because we're all having to do that. We're all having to kind of siphon our energy and ration our energy, resources, money in ways that more than likely can benefit us. And it may not necessarily always go over well with the people who feel as if we should give or, you know, share with them, right? Some of you guys may be seeing a lot of people in very desperate situations. You may be seeing a lot of people who are dealing with storms in their own lives. You may be seeing a lot of people who need support, need help, need, you know, resources. And you just may be faced with some difficult decisions, because you're going to have to choose whether they get your resources or whether you keep them to sustain yourself, right? Because it's that volatile right now. So I don't want you guys to feel bad about any decisions that you have to make, because I feel like that's kind of the energy of where we are. Now, the past life card is at the bottom, which is a 14. I feel like, yeah, there's a lot that's coming up from our past, or it could be a past life, but it could just be the cycles that we've repeated in this current lifetime. But there's a lot that's coming up to the surface that may be connected to the Mercury retrograde, but could just be in general when it comes to us being in Scorpio season, with the transformation that a lot of the symbolism of Scorpio represents, and how transition is not always easy, right? Like, I don't want to trigger any of you guys, so I guess, you know, warning, I'll be talking about people passing, but when someone passes, when someone dies, it's not always an easy transition. Like, there are people who go through terminal illnesses. There are people who go through sudden, quick deaths. There are people who lament for a long time in their illness or in their condition, and it's very painful. Some people actually pass after they've kind of like lost cognitive sanity, and they don't really know maybe what's going on maybe a conscious level, but a subconscious level, they feel it. There are people we feel like we lose too soon. And, you know, transition or transformation, transition or transformation can come in many different forms. And each of you may have a different experience as we transition and basically kind of transmute the energy that we're experiencing at this time. So I feel like Spirit just kind of wants you to be aware of that. And a lot of it does have to do with these stories and storylines from the past that are being exercised out of your experience to make room for new stories and new experiences. And all of those things that are kind of draining out of us may not be, like, all of them may not be easy, but all of them may not be hard as well. Like, there could be things that you're ready to see go. And that may be a bit of an easier transition, quote unquote, so to speak. But some of the things could be challenging to transition through. And I feel like Spirit just wants you to know that, okay? Ride out the storm. Now, trust is card number 16. So I feel like even in the darkness or even in uncertain times, your spirit team wants you to continue to have faith and trust that not only you're on the right path, but that they have your back, okay? Your spirit team, your guides, your ancestors, whoever you pray to or believe in, they have your back in this situation. And when you're uncertain of what's to come, or when the clouds are very thick, the smoke is very thick, and you're not exactly sure, you know, what to expect in the next moment, much less the next day, they want you to fall back on, you know, your belief systems and the trust that you have in your creator, whoever it is that you pray to, because they're going to help guide you through. Okay. Now, the past life card says you're being drawn to sacred spaces, ancient knowledge, past lives, ancient wisdom, and holy gifts. The connection to your current relationship or situation has deep roots and is perhaps much more than you may have anticipated. Dive into ancient wisdom for your answers at this time. Drawing this card can indicate past life connection, karmic contracts, vows, commitments, and even feelings of atonement. Draw another card if additional clarity or direction in how to proceed is required. You can meditate with the pyramid to access ancient magic, create sacred space, welcome informative galactic downloads from the universe, and encourage ascension for your body, mind, and spirit. Now, the symbol is the pyramid, and it says, pyramids are sacred sites, holy places, and vortexes for magic, healing, and the afterlife. Many wise and advanced ancient cultures constructed these mysterious monuments during their existence, okay? So, yeah. Some of you may be visiting some type of monument. I heard the Washington Monument. I don't know what that's about, but some of you, it could be symbolic of those types of monuments, or maybe even monuments that you aren't aware that you're being drawn to, but that are actually monuments, and the history may have been kind of like washed away to where you don't know that you're standing there, or you don't know that you're drawn to it or why, but that's what it is, okay? Now, Stormy says, drama straight ahead. Prepare and brace yourself. Conditions are not favorable at this time. Wait the storm out before proceeding. Please don't worry either. The weather can change very quickly. Meditate on this when you want to call on your sea legs to keep you safe and secure through a hardship or stressful period. If you are inquiring about a relationship, please be warned that this situation will bring a lot of upheaval to your path. Proceed with caution. And this is the ship, and it says a pirate boat on the ocean just makes its way through a storm, only to be headed towards another. So yeah, it feels like you may feel like it's one thing after another. Once you handle one thing, there goes something else. And I feel like Spirit is saying like, hey, we know that this is a lot. We know that things are crazy right now. We know that you could be very stressed and feeling anxious, in whatever situation you could be in. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are, right? At some point, and I'm using this metaphorically, okay? It doesn't matter what your situation or your circumstances are, or what this message specifically applies to in your life. What I feel like is being expressed in this message partially is that death comes for all of us. Like, that's an appointment you're going to have to keep regardless. So it kind of feels like no matter where you stand, when I say death touches all of us, I mean that it's like the trials and tribulations, challenges, struggles, uncertain times that we're all in, it's affecting all of us equally. And that's something that I've picked up in a lot of messages lately, either like through cards or channeled messages. I feel like Spirit, God, Source, Universe, whoever you pray to, they really want us to understand that nothing exempts you from these experiences, because it's all meant to touch the collective of populations in a way that helps us to heal these things that could have definitely dragged on for lifetimes even. Okay. Now, trust says, step into the unknown. All may not be revealed at this time. Trust in unseen forces. Meditate on this to let go of all attachments or possibilities. Free yourself from your dharma and increase your trust in your guides and the universe. And this image is the void, and it's inspired by the nothing in the movie The Never Ending Story. So I've never seen that movie, but whenever you have a void in any depiction, it's darkness, it's uncertainty, it's kind of a little bit of maybe hesitation, because there's no clear other side. There's no clear ending in sight. There's no clear light that guides your path. And it kind of feels like you guys are being inspired in a way from situations that are happening to kind of like trust more in your spirit team and in the guidance that they want to bring to you, so that you can see clearly in a space or a time that is very unclear. Okay, let's continue. This is a beautiful message. You know, looking at the silver lining is important. Because even though these could be some challenging times or challenging cards, challenging energy, I feel like it's going to be a time where if you step up to the plate and face the music in a situation, you could possibly be very heavily and highly rewarded on the other side. Okay? What else, Spirit, for the collective? What is the message when it comes to this? Laughter, wholeness, overjoyed, smiling. Interesting. Finding the comedy in it. Laughing to keep from crying. Because I've said that recently. I've definitely been feeling that lately, child. Laughing to keep from crying. Finding the comedy in all of this. The world is a stage, baby. And the actors are going in. They acting, ain't they? They getting their money's worth, okay? Lucky breaks. See what I'm saying? 4-leaf clovers. Anomalies. Okay? There's some type of weird anomalies that you're going to notice, or that if you really pay attention, you'll see. Like the unusual things that are once in a lifetime type of experience. Didn't Monica make that song? You only get one love, one in a lifetime. And I can't believe that I almost missed the signs right in front of my eyes. And now I know that love is real. It's hard to say goodbye. Good fortune, good things coming, turning point. Yeah. You're going to be like, you get what I'm saying? What? That's funny. Ooh, not sneaky link. Hidden lover, low-key situationship, space ride. Why did I say space ride? Side piece. Jesus. So things could be going on underneath the surface for you. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody else is like in some type of sneaky link situation. It could mean that some of you guys are linking up with your destiny or figuring out your path and, you know, what steps to take on your path in a very secretive way. There could be a change in your circumstances or a lucky break that you could feel, some type of good fortune coming to your life that's making you feel really joyous and positive, but that other people don't know about, because truthfully, is it really their business? Is it really their business? Maybe not. What else for the collective? Oh, my Lord. Okay, so things that are not meant to be in your life that you've had to really protect yourself from, people, places, things, situations, they're leaving, because these cards fell on the floor in reverse. Okay, there could be a lot of energy of people in relationships that you've had or situations that just refuse to die that are being removed, evacuated, exterminated from your life. Guarded says very guarded and protective over your heart, and the relationship is over. No, it does not say that. It says meant to be. The relationship is magical. It's meant to be, but in reverse. It fell on the floor in reverse. That means that bitch is done. Okay. All right. Situations where you didn't have a lot of protection, situations where you were kind of like in a vulnerable predicament in a negative way. Like, I feel like it's okay to be vulnerable, but every situation isn't made for you to be vulnerable or for you to just like be just open and everything loose and, you know, things is flapping and flopping around. No. That is not indicative of every situation, or that is not appropriate for every situation. And I feel like a lot of things that were never meant to necessarily take place, like it feels like they're referencing these situations that maybe you've already worked through energetically on a soul level, like things from your past lives, things that, you know, have repeated for way too long. A lot of these things were never meant to be a part of your story. And I think that there was a lot of forceful energy. There was a time where those forceful energies or those entities or whatever it is kind of pushed its way into you having that experience again, when it was never really meant to happen. But actually it was meant to happen, because I feel like everything that happens is meant to happen on some level, but it kind of wasn't meant to happen at the same time due to the duality of it and the fact that you've already worked through it and other people kind of tried to possibly force their will onto your free will. And now it's like, because of that, it's meant to be removed now. And spirit is, kind of forcefully removing it because they wanted to forcefully put it on you. Okay. That's what it feels like to me. Those two cards just fell out. I'm actually going to get a card. We'll see. Y'all be sure to like the video, you guys. It is very helpful for the channel if you like to see this content, if you want it to be recommended to you more, or if you just want to help out. It really does keep the flow of energy going. Okay. What else for the collective spirit? Gratitude. Show more gratitude. So spirit is basically saying, hey, you're going to benefit from being grateful for these hard times right now in the future when they're over. You're going to benefit from appreciating and understanding the meaning of these turbulent times in the future once they're done, if you're able to see it right now. Okay? Find the joy in situations. If you have kids and you hear them laughing, my son just came past my room and I heard him giggling. Seeing their smile, seeing their laughter, seeing their enjoyment, their pure, expression of emotion. Really value that, okay? Really value the good friendships that you have, the positive people who are in your life, the motivational experiences that you have. Things that are beautiful in the world, like nature, or whatever it is that gives you life, right? They want you to see the benefit of amplifying those experiences and magnifying them, making them bigger so that it can kind of like drown out or outweigh the things that could be kind of challenging. Okay. Yeah. We have breaking point. Things are becoming too much to bear and experiencing similar energies. So you guys are going to realize that there's a sneaky connection. There's a sneaky link between what you're experiencing and what other people around you are experiencing. And I think that it's what's going to happen once it's all said and done. I really feel like the sneaky link or the sneaky connection that makes your situation similar to other people around you is this like positive outcome that's going to come from all of this stuff, because you've worked through a lot of the past life trauma or, different things that have happened to you when you were younger, childhood trauma. There is a really, okay. It's not extremely clear. Like the connection, you don't see it right now because you're in the middle of it, but that it's like spirit is trying to give you a heads up to what this connection is now so that you can take the right steps and be a part of this collective group that experiences this positive fortune in the future. Okay. I also feel like things are going to start to get easier, and the dots are going to begin to connect in your mind about why you may be in a time where you're experiencing certain things that could be difficult. Okay. It's going to start to make sense. The reason that it's happening is going to start to become clear. And I feel like once those clouds clear, you're going to see it clearly. Yeah, 8 of Swords. So you could be very in your head about something. You could be very worried or anxious about something, thinking about it over and over again, or listening to people who keep talking about it over and over again. Okay. That tends to happen, right? Like when there's this mass pandemonium about situations, especially with what is going on in a lot of our like countries, a lot of our governments individually, no matter where you are. There's a lot of like mass panic and mass pandemonium and collective anxiety that sometimes, especially if you're very intuitive or empathic, you can pick up on it and it just stresses you out when really there's kind of, it's not that there's no reason to stress about it because it's valid, but spirit is kind of like, it's no reason for you to stress about it because we got you. Okay. Like we got you, Sway. Like, other people don't see it the way you see it, or they're incapable of, managing the stress the way you are because they don't have that connection. right? A lot of people are disconnected from their soul, from a higher power, from knowing who it is that they are, and they just kind of flow in the wind. I always say this, they just blowing in the wind like a Kroger bag. They don't have, it's just aimless. They don't have any direction. They don't have any grounding force, but that's not who you are. And it's like your spirit team wants you to remember who you are in this time, so that the collective consciousness of people who are lost and anxious and worried don't rub off on you in a negative way. Yeah. The Hermit, Virgo energy, and then we have the Nine of Swords. See what I'm saying? So there's information that's being discovered that could be very worrisome or stressful, but the truth that's lost in the midst of all this information is the clarity that you receive from your spiritual practices. So I feel like this is about your spirit team reminding you of how much you have to lean on within your belief systems, within your practices. They're reminding you of how much they're there for you. They're reminding you of how much they want you to succeed, and that they're working alongside you to achieve the goals that you have, or at least just to survive through these difficult times. You could be dealing with a Gemini, a Virgo, possibly even a maybe Libra, Aquarius. Okay. It's like, this is a time where they're wanting you to go within. It's okay to hermit right now. If you feel like you need to as well. Like if you feel like maybe you get invited to that event and you're like, I don't really know if it's a good idea for me to go. I'm trying to save my money right now. I'm just trying to make sure I keep my sanity right now. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I think I might sit this one out. I feel like they're saying, hey, that's okay, right? If you find yourself feeling anxious and worried about doing anything, right? I feel like your spirit team is challenging you and asking you to go within and like use your inner light to identify the imposing snakes you see in the corner here. It's like they want you to, take yourself through why you feel these things and where it's stemming from, and use your inner light. Use the light of your soul, the glow of your aura, to really dig deep and figure out where the imposter is. Like, where is the energy, or where is on the timeline of my emotions, where is the energy that's an imposter? Where is the energy that doesn't belong? Where is the energy that does not belong to me? Right? And I feel like a lot of you guys know why people are so worried and anxious. And I feel like that's a part of this reading as well. It's like Spirit is letting you know that you're going to be able to identify the people who do not have a well-grounded spiritual foundation in these difficult times, because you're going to see them lose their fucking mind. It's a lot of people who are going to be out here in the streets crashing the fuck out. And I'm being so for real with y'all right now. Like, there are going to be people who at the slightest sense of problems, they lose their mind. Like, for example, everybody who was worried, and I'm going to say this and it may not be very popular, but listen, I'm not very popular most of the time. I feel like that's the beauty of the orange man. Okay. A lot of people don't see the beauty of the orange man. I foresaw this during the election. I already knew he was going to win. And I knew he was going to win because there's just certain things that I feel he came here to do. Whether you agree with him, disagree with him, whether you agree with me, disagree with me, it's not about that, right? It's about the fact that there are certain things that have to be unearthed. There are certain things that have to be basically pulled up at the root that required a certain person to be able to do those things. And it was going to be a person who was unpopular. Now, I'm not saying I condone or advocate or support any of the things that he's doing. What I'm saying is that on an ascended level, hermit, on a higher level, you have to be able to see what the fuck is going on. And there have been a lot of snakes. There have been a lot of characters. There have been a lot of individuals who've been able to kind of burrow themselves in the shadows and hide, right? And when there's chaos, you see who people truly are. You see people's true colors. And kind of like when people say, people say how they really feel when they're angry. It's that type of energy. So I feel on a certain level that I'm okay with the orange man and, different things that are going on in regards to his decisions and his behavior, because it's actually allowing a lot of us to see the true colors of people around us, right? Like when you think about what happened with Melissa in Jamaica and Haiti and Cuba and all the entitled tourists that were over there talking shit, okay? And their faces are being shown because they don't realize how ignorant they look complaining when those people's homeland has been destroyed. So it's like they're exposing themselves, or they are being witnessed by other people who are exposing them. The people who started fighting and don't know how to act and don't know how to conduct themselves and don't have no motherfucking home training are being exposed. And the people, maybe even if you don't know who they are, there are people in this world who have seen them on those viral videos and they're like, oh, there are people in the higher vibrational collective who know those people and they're like, oh, wow, that's how Keisha be acting. You get what I'm saying? That's how so-and-so be acting for real. That's their mentality. That's their frame of mind. Okay, thank you, Spirit. You just literally showed me what I need to see. And then it allows each of us on an individual level to uncover the snakes in our lives, because there's so much chaos and there's so much nonsense that's going on that it either exposes or causes those people to self-expose themselves so that we understand where we need to set our boundaries. Right? When it came down to the whole food stamp situation, it exposed the people who have an entitled frame of mind and look down on people who are on government assistance. It also exposed the people who are on government assistance who need to get their fucking act together and stop depending on the system. Right? It also exposed the people in both situations who have good God-given sense, who don't treat other people like dirt just because of their position or feel entitled to other people's belongings or finances because of their decisions, right? It exposes the real and the fake. It exposes the truth and the lies. It exposes, the predators and quote unquote the prey for all intensive purposes of this metaphor. And those are things that need to be discovered. Those are things that need to be revealed in order for us to see how we need to move forward. That's what Spirit is saying with this message. That's why they're saying be grateful for this time, because without this time, you would not be able to see clearly some of the snakes in the grass that you may not have been able to properly identify if this kind of circumstances didn't take place. Right? So don't be afraid to look at it. Don't be afraid to look the devil in the eye and call it by his name. Okay? Because some of you could be dealing with someone who is very worried or anxious because of what may happen or what may transpire in the near future. You may have people start coming to you and confessing things. I was going to say convey, but I meant to say confess. You may have people that just come to you and confess things because they're worried and anxious about like, oh, I don't know if tomorrow I'm going to wake up or not. Like people who are just feeling this really strong anxiety from what's going on around you. And it could reveal some things that you start to see that maybe you didn't see before. Okay. Oh, interesting. The Hangman and the Seven of Pentacles. So there's a delay here with the Seven of Pentacles and the Hangman. Someone is stuck. This is Pisces energy, but this could also be a siphoning of resources. You could be very clear or becoming clear on what is worth your time, money, energy, or effort and what's not. You could be becoming very clear on what is a waste of time, energy, money, effort, or not. Who is a waste of time, energy, money, and effort. You just know, like at this point, you're taking stock of everything. I feel like you're being very patient as well, waiting on the right opportunities to come along. But you could also be getting a little anxious and a little nervous about money and finances at this time. But with the major arcana of the Hangman, it definitely talks about looking at things from a higher perspective and also being resourceful, because there may be resources if you change your perspective that you didn't originally see existing, right? There may be resources that you didn't know you had or skills and abilities that you did not realize could bring you some type of wealth or finances or resources in this time where resources are scarce. All of these things combined are what I feel like is on a lot of you guys' mind. And I just want you guys to try your best or do your best to see it more positively and keep an optimistic perspective. Now, we do have the Nine of Wands at the bottom and the Knight of Wands. Okay, so boundaries, being fed up, drawing a line in the sand. Enough is enough. That's it. You know, this could even be cutting off communication, making your goals very clear. It's very clear through your actions that you are motivated to move forward and to communicate with a level of clarity that is connected to your confirmations. Like, you don't want to talk with anybody about anything that's negative. You don't want to talk to people who are doom and gloom. You don't want to discuss things that just continue to perpetuate a cycle of negativity. You know, you don't want to hang around people who do those types of things. Any type of burden that you experience through, whether it's, you know, social media, a conversation, a content creator, your family, your friends, you know, just strangers out in public. It's like, listen, I can't hear. I see nothing. I know nothing. I hear nothing. That's the boundary. If you're gonna always be coming to me, Nine of Wands, complaining, Knight of Wands, Nine of Wands. If you're gonna always come to me as a friend and complain about all of this shit that's irrelevant to forward progress in our communities, or if it's, you know, just meaningless stuff that is laced with undertones of sarcasm and sneak dissing and, you know, all these types of things that undermine my growth and progress. Like, it doesn't mean that you just have to be serious and talk about serious shit all the time. This is just saying, like, you're not going to entertain people who want to perpetuate these same repetitive, outdated cycles that you're breaking free from, whatever that means in your life, right? And you're setting those boundaries and kind of like waiting, I feel, to see what falls away. And I feel like you're starting to see people's actions and identify who the problem is when it comes to those boundaries. That's what I really feel like is going on. And a lot of you guys are going to find that you're going to be super happy that you took these steps, whatever these steps are, to change your life for the better. A lot of you guys are dealing with a Pisces or a Virgo, or you are a Pisces or a Virgo. There could also be Taurus, Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, Aquarius, Libra. I don't know if there's anybody who I missed, but Scorpio as well. What else for the collective that they need to know? Defensive. Oh, okay. I see. Is that what we're doing? You may have to defend yourself. Also, someone could be very defensive, right? The Nine of Wands is not just a card of like, hey, I want to set a boundary. The Nine of Wands is a card of like, hey, I told your motherfucking ass to stop. And somebody refuses to stop. And it's just like, I feel like somebody could even be trying to drag something out, because with this Hangman card, it's definitely predatory, right? Like in this deck specifically, I mean, in every deck, it's a little predatory, and it can be indicative of someone trying to embarrass you, someone trying to put you out on your ass, somebody trying to, you know, force a situation where you're isolated, or force a situation where you're embarrassed, or whatever the situation is. It can be viewed as something, you know, predatory. But in this one specifically, it's like, you're not only are you coming after me when it comes to my character and my, you know, reputation, but someone could also be coming at you when it comes to your money and your finances, because all these coins are just falling freely. It's just like, really? That's what we're doing? That's what we're doing now. After all this time, that's what we doing. Just because I said no, just because I set a boundary, it's like, no. Y'all are done with that. And then the Star card is underneath the Nine of Wands. So Aquarius energy strong as well. It's like someone could be trying to block your star, dim your light. And it's like, bitch, please. Wealth. You may be coming into a lot of money. You may also be encountering someone who is very wealthy. Okay. Again, lucky break, right? Wealth. You may have to defend yourself when it comes to setting boundaries or taking a stance with people about the resources that you refuse to give up. Like, hey, I prepared for this. I got extra toilet paper to wipe my ass. I got extra food. And it's like, you want to find, I feel like you want to find a good balance between defending yourself, setting boundaries, protecting your energy, and being kind of like the toast lady on TikTok who was talking shit about people and then found herself in the same predicament as those people she was judging, right? There's a thin line in these situations, and you guys are being asked by spirit to really be mindful of how you tote that line, right? Now we also have surveillance. Someone could be keeping a very close eye on you. There may be a situation in your life that needs reviewing, and I feel like that was the Hermit card. Okay. This comes down to, I feel like, any maybe subscriptions that you have, any money that's coming out that is unnecessary. Like, I really feel like spirit is wanting you to downsize if you can, to save as much as you can so that you can be resourceful. And if there are any times that in the future you may need to, you know, clock into your rainy day fund, that there's actually something there for you to be able to utilize to handle any situations. Financially, I feel like you are being asked to protect your finances. I feel like you're being asked to really evaluate situations that could be draining you. Not just when it comes to your money, but any situations or relationships that could be draining you when it comes to your energy being depleted, right? Overextending yourself, self-sacrificing, being the martyr in the situation when in reality, if you paid attention, that may not be what someone else is willing to do for you, right? So, yeah, it's like everybody's going through similar situations, but the difference is if you're able to find gratitude in your predicament or in what's happening in your mind, like the way you look at it, I feel like that's going to bring a lot of positivity to your life, right? Defensive, 6 of Cups. So this could be against friends, siblings, like defending yourself. They may be very defensive towards you. People who you have close relationships with, people who you may have grown up with, people who have been a part of your life for a long time or that you have memories with, could be the focus of where this defensive energy is coming from, or who you may need to defend yourself against, right? Because like your family, you want to protect your family. You want to protect the people who you love, right? Especially if they haven't really done anything wrong to you. You want to get your kids what they want for Christmas. You want to be able to provide them with enjoyable experiences. But now is not the time, okay? Now is the time to really rein it in or ring it in or whatever they say. This could also be people bringing up things from the past that you've already evolved from. And it's like, baby, move on. Move on, chick. Thank you. The Fool card is at the bottom and the 5 of Wands. Look at that. So, yeah, this is also about freeing yourself from past conflicts. Anybody who wants to bring up, you know, anyway, child, let's move on. That's what I'm hearing. If you want to move on and somebody wants to keep on bringing shit up and hashing and rehashing drama and everything else, don't do that, right? Even if it's a situation where you've already said, like, because this is what I'm telling y'all. It can play out in different ways. Even if this is a situation where someone's presence puts you in a frame of mind or an energy space where you feel like you have to repeat yourself again about some fuck shit that you done already told this person, and the way that they treated you that they don't want to accept, but that they want to keep coming into your life, stomping all on your energy. That is also what I'm talking about. It doesn't just have to be situations where people are, you know, bringing things up about you. It can also be situations where just the existence of a person in your presence and the fact that they continue to do the same thing over and over again in a cyclic way makes you feel like you have to keep expressing what you've already said to their behind many times before. That is what spirit is telling you to free yourself from. You don't have to repeat yourself. If you already said no, the answer is fucking no. And that is a complete sentence. Baby, what is going on? Okay. Anyway, you are not obligated to help anyone. You're not obligated to do anything for anyone, you know, unless you feel called by your spirit team and your intuition individually to do so. Even if people say, oh, it's time to be charitable, it's time to be kind. Maybe you've been charitable and kind and your situation is different. Maybe you haven't been very charitable and you need to maybe take action on that. But it's going to have to be dependent upon what you feel is right in your own situation. And you, I feel, are being asked by spirit to make that determination and use your own discernment to make that determination on your own behalf and not necessarily judge it or decide it based on what other people feel like you should do. Okay. Because I mean, there are times where, you know, maybe like if you look back on it, you're like, dang, there have been a lot of people, you know, in the process of showing gratitude, you realize there have been a lot of people who've helped me, and there haven't been a lot of times where I've helped back or, you know, returned that favor or, you know, paid it forward. And that's a real thing that requires you to take accountability and can sometimes be difficult. But I think a lot of you guys who watch me and find me are either on the road to, yes, Percy, staring me down. I tee you. Scary. You be scary sometimes. Thank you, man. He was staring me down. But, you know, a lot of you guys, like I said, you're either on the road to exercising more of this accountability. Yeah. Who's knocking? Yeah. What's up, baby? I'm working. What's up?
I need the charger.
Oh, for your phone?
Yeah.
I don't have the charger. I thought you had it.
No, I didn't see it in the room.
I don't have it. Go check again. Ask Chris to help you. Ask him has he seen it. Because I never took the charger. Just look again. I'll help you look later. Let me finish.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, y'all are making improvements. And I feel like even if it's hard for you to take that accountability because you've experienced a lot of pain and hardship or misfortune or any type of injustice, I feel like you guys are open and receptive to taking more of that accountability and having more of that self-reflection so you can more accurately determine where you stand in that situation of, well, maybe I do need to give a little bit more. Maybe I need to pull back a little bit more. Like, I feel like you guys are either on the road to that or you've made that determination already within yourself. So honestly, overall, this is a really good reading, you guys. I just feel like Spirit wants you to understand how equipped you are and how well prepared you are, not only on a materialistic level, but also on a spiritual, emotional, and mental level to deal with what may be coming in the near future that may be difficult for a lot of people around you to deal with. And they want you to keep that in mind so that you don't lose your shit. Okay. This card popped out. It says not the right time. So there's definitely, listen, I feel like that's just reiterating and confirming what I said about it maybe not being the right time for you to make the decisions that you've been making up until this point, or look at a situation from the same perspective as you've had up until this point. It would benefit you to maybe widen your vantage point or, you know, expand your peripheral vision to try to see many different aspects in order to gain the most benefit out of the time that we're in. At the bottom, we have look for a sign. Yeah. And then yes. Okay. So I kind of want to read this real quick. I know we did a lot of reading, but y'all please like the video. I really appreciate it. So basically look for a sign. We're going to do that one first because I feel like that was the energy bringing us into this. And it says, your angels have a very special and specific answer to your question. You can expect to see signs right away that will have deep meaning to you. Many people see white feathers to indicate that their angels are with them, or they may smell scents from their childhood that they connect with a family member. Signs require focused attention, so be awake to the possibilities. Don't mistake synchronistic events for mere coincidences at this time. Y'all know me. I do not believe in coincidences. Finally, they say they are the message especially designed for you. So nothing is a coincidence right now, you guys. And especially with this defense card with the 6 of Cups, that reminds me of like smells from your childhood and what they mentioned about that. There could be feelings or memories that pop up from your childhood, smells, scents, deja vu moments that pop up that reminds you of things that happened in your childhood that not only indicate safety, but could also indicate danger. And I feel they want you to pay attention to that. Okay. Now, when it comes to not the right time, okay, let's see what they say. Now, the not the right time card says, this is not the right time presently for what you're inquiring about. This answer is not a no, just a not yet. Have patience. Your angels will give you a sign when the timing is perfect. So I feel like because it's backwards, because the card at the bottom comes first, technically, the way I read. So because the sign card, look for a sign, is first, and then you have not the right time, Spirit is giving you the advice in all of what I've mentioned in this reading that they will give you a sign even ahead of time about something that may not be in your highest good so that you can avoid possible situations that could put you at a detriment, whether that be, giving a donation to someone or handing a homeless person who could be asking for help on the side of the road something, or whether that could be like helping out a friend, helping out a family member, whether that is the opposite, where you're being asked to do it and then you usually wouldn't do it, but then Spirit is like, hey, it might not be the right time for you to judge that person or withhold something that could help them, and that's why I say I can't tell you what the right answer is. That's why I tell you guys all the time, please use your own intuition, because I may be telling a group of people that, hey, you might not want to donate because you need to watch out for yourself. But also there could be a group of people here who resonate with the other side of it that are like, you know what? I need to make some plans and schedule some time to give back because I haven't really been doing that. And that's why it's so important for you when you watch these readings to make sure that you're not just going based off of what the reader says, even me, but just to go off of what you feel in your soul is the right thing, at the time of your life that you're in for you to do. Okay. But that's what I have for you guys. I hope it helped you. The yes card is just basically saying that the answer is yes. Okay. I hope you didn't click off, but it says the answer to your question is yes. If you want more detailed reply to your inquiry, you can ask additional questions or pull more cards. But that's basically what we did. So it kind of feels like a lot of the things that you want in life, you're going to get. A lot of the ways that you want your life to change and improve will be possible or are possible. Right. And it's kind of like happening behind the scenes right now. You just don't see it yet. But it's like your spirit team wants you to keep in mind the importance of the decisions that you make now so that it doesn't put your future at a detriment. Okay. I hope that helped you guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you found this reading extremely helpful and you want to take it an extra step, please consider donating through PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. I love when you guys donate through Venmo because it allows me not only to see your cute messages, but actually comment and respond to them. Oh, wow. All right. I really appreciate all of you guys who've donated and just given back recently. I will be catching up with your donations very soon because, child, this last 2 weeks has blown up and been crazy for me. But I appreciate you guys having patience with me being here. Make sure you like and subscribe to continue to catch the vibe. Keep your post notifications turned on to all, and make sure you have notifications turned on for the app so that you can see when I post all of the November monthly readings for each sign, because I'll be working on those as well. And if you want a personal reading, again, all of that's linked below. Let me know in the comments if this resonated, you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day and weekend. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.